Hello everyone, welcome to another special episode of Chapters where words come to life. I am your host Mariam C, and as always, my co-host.
Hello everybody, I am Ibrahim Bojang, your co-host today as well.
And today we have a very, very special guest as always. These young talented person happened to just be among the was it the semi-finalists or the semi-finalists, yes, on the Poetry Slam. And today we are honored to have him here today, the logical intellect poet inspired by wisdom, aka Musa Sissoko. So Musa, thank you for being with us today.
It's indeed a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the invitation. Looking forward to what unfolds.
Inshallah. All right. We dive right into the program. So my first question, Musa, what inspired you to join in for the Poetry Slam?
Actually, what inspired me to join the Poetry Slam was my experience of, following other Poetry Slams, right? I would say I was influenced, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can remember vividly the day of the registration or the vetting of the Poetry Slam was the day of my poetry album, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was influenced by a friend who just told me, "Fam, you have to join, so let's just run for one or two things," right?
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to join the Poetry Slam to earn experience and also to be able to express myself as per what poetry manifests, right?
So, meaning you have been following the Poetry Slam for the longest?
Yeah, about Gambian Poetry Slam, let me just be honest, I haven't noticed much about Gambian Poetry Slam. Just recently, not long ago,
Mm-hmm.
that I've noticed, and through connecting with poets, I realized one of a friend and a big brother also, the last Poet King also was one of the finalists of the Poetry Slam in 2021.
Okay.
I guess. So I realized that the Poetry Slam has been going on, and through that I make a lot of researches, and I was following up also to get to know one or two poets who were doing the Poetry Slam before us.
That's beautiful.
So it's like a new experience to me.
That's wonderful. So, Ibrahim, I guess you've seen him perform, right?
Yeah, I've seen him perform at the Poetry Slam,
Yes.
and then basically Musa is one of the poets that were so good at the Poetry Slam.
Mm-hmm.
But then I wouldn't be moving into that area soonest. My question would be like the name, the logical intellectual poet
Inspired
by wisdom.
Don't play
This
with it.
is a very long, like I said, I was even chatting with him the other day. I was like, what a name.
Yeah.
Was like, what a name.
Yeah, what a name.
How does this name come about? Because logical intellectual poet inspired by wisdom. This can be a name that would like exceed the space for a name.
Yeah, actually, the name came about before I even. The name was inspired by me following certain intellectuals, people like Zakir Naik. During those days, I was so much interested in comparative religion. So I used to follow him a lot, and Sheikh Ahmad did that too, that I realized these people possess the highest degree of wisdom. The way they answer questions, the way they express themselves, and the way they articulate and structure whatever they are to manifest was something that really caught my attention. And I'm also somebody who is curious, who always like to make researches and try to know one or two things even outside of the school syllabus. I would say most of the things I know is not in school. Okay, it's outside of the classroom. So to me, being somebody who is curious and I would say open-minded, I realized that I want to embody myself. I want to carry the message of always being logical, because I believe I was inspired by wisdom. Yeah, and then that is why I said the logical because I also believe that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so intellectuals are people who know what they know and they manifest that, and then through that you can see the intellectuality in them. So I believed I know what I'm doing, and also that was what inspired the name, the logical intellect poet inspired by.
So it means all what you've said, your wisdom, your intellectuality, is all inspired by wisdom.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's a good, very good one. As a matter.
I will try to adopt that name someday. Intellectual.
Yeah.
So, what is? If I may, I wanted to know exactly. You mentioned about being an open-minded person.
Yeah.
So, what has the poetry slam taught you, if I may ask?
Yeah, the poetry
The
slam
whole
has
journey,
taught me a
journey.
lot. It has taught me a lot, both good and bad experiences, right? The poetry slam teaches you that as a poet, you just have to be at that level to be giving the flowers, right? And also the poetry slam has taught me that being a quack poet does not give you the mandate to set your foot on the stage.
Yeah.
So it also taught me like, as a poet, you should do poetry, okay? You should really do poetry, because I realize majority of us poets are not really doing poetry. So I felt like the poetry slam was up there to set that standard high. That also gives us the poet the I don't know how to put this into words, but then the age of trying to always improve on our craft.
Yeah.
So through the poetry slam, I've realized that like I need to improve more, and I believe that it has taught us to always work hard to manifest poetry and nothing but poetry.
Absolutely. Because one thing I have noticed in the poetry industry lately, everybody just wants to be a poet, and the thing is, not everyone is cut out to be. And the other thing is, you might be gifted, but once you don't read or make researches, you have to be curious. Like I always say, you have to be curious. You have to read in order to equip yourself. So it's a really important thing, because I've seen poets from the start, like from the start of the poetry slam, who have been improving a lot, and I am hoping that will help them. Maybe we can fasten up a little bit and next year come back. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you shared with us one of your poems, and I can see this guy was deeply affected.
I've been going through some of his poems that he shared, and then I've realized that from our conversation, he was like, he's a Pan-Africanist.
Yeah.
And those are people that are kind of like logical thinkers nowadays.
Outside the box.
Because when you look at the likes of PLO, Lumumba, these are guys that, and these other guys, the South African, the main talkative. Malema and the others. Yeah, those ones are talkative, and they are just critical thinkers. And the other day I saw this guy talking about the European Union security sector reforms and other stuff.
I love when one of the judges said poetry was used as a weapon in South Africa colonial era to end apartheid. I love it when he said that, because for you, instance, most of the poems that you write, I believe, is based on politics, political awakening, stuff like that. So I believe you can use poetry to influence different things.
Sure.
Yeah,
because even by looking at some of his poems that he wrote, I don't know where it's in my wall, Africa is not a scar. And then deep into that poem, he said something like, my wall is not for sale.
Yeah.
It's not a market.
It's not a market.
It's not a brand. It's a revolution. It's a drum beat that calls for every African child to rise. These are words of unification. These are words of enlightenment. These are words that will even inspire people.
Yes.
Yeah. Like when he said he's a Pan-Africanist. So it's like his poems are directed to something else. I am somebody that likes anything that has to do with humor is what I'm always invested in. Where I always invest my energy on. Anything that is going to make me laugh. Anything that's going to make people laugh. Anything that has humor. But then there are things that also touch me sometimes. Words that are so sensitive. Like words that will talk about survival. Words that will talk about freedom. Words that will even talk about respecting fundamental human rights. Because, all of these things without human rights, respecting our human rights, humor wouldn't be even available. You wouldn't have that time to talk about, let's joke, let's do this. That is why I rate the poets that I listen to in the Gambia. I rated them. And then on top of my list, I have the Last King poet. He's my favorite.
Yeah,
like everywhere.
Yeah.
Because he always does things differently.
Yeah.
Just look at his poems. The poem that the one he wrote in Pidgin. He will say like, "Your Sabinos, cash money like worry behind."
Yeah,
These are things that would, people will listen to poetry listen to art or watch art for different reasons.
Yes.
Some are stressed; they want to ease their stress. Some needs inspiration.
Yes.
Some needs logical awakening. So yours has something to do with logical reasoning. It has something to do with Pan-Africanism, revolutionarism also, and it has something to do with awareness as well. So these are things that inspire. And even at the Poetry Slam, I was like, oh, I was holding my camera. When you move, I'll move. When you move, like I was just calculating the distance. So tall, our tall boy.
Yeah.
But then you are so great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are so great.
It was really amazing.
Sure.
Yeah. He was one of the few poets that when they go up the stage and they are so passionate about Africa, about their country. The love for their country is beyond measure. So
actually, I believe that each and every citizen or each and every soul or each and every black race should be a Pan-Africanist.
Yes, absolutely.
If you see today, our leaders are so much corrupt and indulge in trying to warp and load us, their own people. And if you see throughout history that our own people have killed our great leaders to satisfy the imperialist colonialists. Or sometimes we say the bad bastard baking back in corruption or terrorism or colonialism, right? It's because there is no awareness. It's because the level of understanding, in terms of Pan-Africanism, the ideology, how it originated, what is the principles, and what do we aim to achieve with this. I believe these are information that we all, not me being a Pan-Africanist, us all have to be acquainted with. Because when you look at Pan-Africanism, it has done a lot of good things throughout history. You look at leaders like Thomas Sankara, still now their voices are echoing, right? You look at leaders like Osagyefo, Kwame Nkrumah, still now their voices are echoing. You look at leaders like Patrice Lumumba during the independence speech, still now their voices are echoing. So you realize like leaders like Amilcar Cabral, who was a very good literal person who fought for the independence of Guinea and Cape Verde. We look at them, still now we cherish them. Why is it that we cherish these leaders? Why is it that these leaders have footnoted their names in the history books? It's no other than embracing Pan-Africanism, fighting for our unity, fighting for the total liberation of Africa. And also, they were willing to put their necks on the guillotine just to see Africa thrive. But today, the case is different. And I believe these are the messages we should put across to raise awareness so as to make sure that we, our parents, do not suffer like our unborn children will. Right? We need to secure the future now, because these leaders, when they were fighting, they fought.
They put the upcoming generation.
Yeah, of course, because their concern was us, and today our concern should be our unborn children, and I guess that is what we all have to fight.
Okay, so Musa, do you think those people, like all the people that you mentioned, their work and everything they did, is paying off?
It's paying off because of them. People like me are speaking of have been well acquainted, right? Because of them today, PLO Lumumba is awakening our consciousness. Because of them, we've realized that a lot of African leaders are doing great today. People like Thomas Ibrahim Traore, when he came into power, who was he inspired by? That is the question to be asked. Was Thomas Sankara, right? You look at Paul Kagame, he's a Pan-African, and sometimes controversial, but you believe that all these leaders have moved their countries forward, right? You look at leaders like Malema, Malema is the biggest opposition in South Africa, right?
Yes.
Within a short period of span, he was in the ANC, which is the party of Mandela, but now he has created his own party because of the message, the power of the message, and the power of the spirit. He has been able to get a lot of crowd. So I believe that Pan-Africanism has done a lot of impact in terms of transformation and in terms of fighting for the black people.
That's really amazing, and I am really happy that you are using art to spread this beautiful message.
Yes.
Because people are using different forms. Right?
Yeah.
Others are doing it through writing, others through movies. You're doing it through poetry, which is really very beautiful. And I hope the poets lovers out there are getting the message.
Exactly.
Right. So after the poetry slam, what have you been doing?
After the poetry slam, I've got to sit behind, try to observe things and see what's best for me to be the next step, right? Yeah, so far so good. I've been working through one or two things, and inshallah, hopefully next year, early next year, I'm working on a project. As for now, so I'm just staying low key. I didn't want to send out any information or stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'm working on a project which is gonna be the 2.0 of Gambia's Times of Change.
Okay.
And through that project, I hope to inspire, to impact, and also to change the narratives.
Inshallah. Hopefully, I hope the young coming generations will be inspired by the beautiful art of poetry, and I think it's really working because I've seen a lot of upcoming poets, really youngsters, and they're doing amazing jobs.
Yeah, they're doing amazing. Yeah.
They are doing amazing.
I think this is the first stage, because when there's peace, poetry inspires peace, because people are using different forms of spreading or sending out information. And then nowadays, I think art is the best way.
Yes.
Because without art, people are going to resort to something else.
Exactly.
Because look at countries like Kenya and others. They could have used different ways to send the message, or they could have used a different way to make their voices heard. But then, like you said in one of your points, the cries of change are loud, but the suffering is real.
Exactly.
So when you use such kind of platforms, your poetry platforms, to send this kind of messages to people, it serves as an inspiration to them, because you are now trying to prevent them from using anger to resolve whatever problems that they have. But now you are sending, or you are trying to inspire them using art. And using that art is the same art you are using to communicate to the government as well. Because we wouldn't use force to remove you, or we wouldn't use force to change things, but we can be able to use our poetry or art as a means of dialogue.
If we are force, we will use force. Revolutionary has to be smart. It's not the right mode to attain peace. But if you look at throughout history, leaders who turn their backs on their people, leaders who see their people suffer, and also leaders who are so much embedded in corruption, and they don't give a damn about how the people feel, what they feel. I think this is where the threat to peace begins, right? So that is why it is upon every leader to always adhere to their people's cries, because you never know. Probably art has the power to control society by trying to advocate for peace and inspire people that let us take this way.
As a matter of fact, I think in the last ages, art has been used to influence most of our lives.
Exactly.
Through books, the social media, through so many ways. Art has been used to influence us a lot, because most of the things that now we consume as a society are various forms of art, movies, music, and the poetry itself. Like I said, that George said, when the George said poetry was used to fight colonialism back then, to end apartheid in South Africa. So you see, art has that.
Like Malcolm X,
exactly.
he was using poetry as well to inspire.
Exactly. So art, I think, is a weapon that maybe some people are looking low upon, but it's something that is very important. You see, I read somewhere that art speaks to you. The artist speaks to you through the art. Like you are talking to people through poetry.
Exactly.
Right? Someone else is talking to people out there through their books, their writings, their poems. Okay, someone else is doing that through dancing. You know, like you would watch a ballet. You would watch a ballet dancer and then be like, what is he or she doing? You don't understand, but someone who understands ballet gets the message they are trying to send out there. So
but wait. On a serious note, is ballet singing music? Because it's dancing.
You don't know.
I don't think I even know what is ballet.
No, it's a form of dance where women will wear this kind of skirt.
It's called a toot. It's called a toot.
So it's a toot.
Yeah.
A toot, whatever. Yeah. So they will just have this shoe, and their toes will be like this, and they will just spin, and their hands will be everywhere.
Okay.
And they wear white.
Yeah,
it's kind of Russian dance.
They are not always wearing white.
I don't like it.
Okay, this is art, right? You see a painter paint something and you look at it, it doesn't make any sense to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there is someone else that looks at it and makes absolute sense out of it. Mm-hmm. Exactly with the ballet. You and I don't understand what is going on stage, but someone else is understanding what is being done on that stage, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Really?
So
it's about how we value and what we value about art.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are many people who love music, but they don't love poetry.
Yeah.
Right. There are many people who love to watch movies and they don't have time for music or poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And there are also many people who love poetry and do not have anything to do with movies.
Yes.
With dancing, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, with painting. All these are arts, right?
Yes.
So it depends on the person's taste of what really, suits him in terms of what is the concern art.
Yeah.
So, but I believe also, like, the most powerful art in the Gambia here, I guess, is just music. But I guess poetry is at the verge of also trying to.
Yes.
No, it's music and poetry.
Yeah. Your poetry is just developing
It's
now
getting
in the
the
Gambia.
awakening now.
Really, people are now liking it.
Yeah,
Yes,
people are now liking it, especially students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are now liking it, and I guess this poetry slam also is one of a platform that will continue to push out the poetry industry forward.
Yeah.
It's moving, because if it's not moving, Gambians don't like to put our money where our mouth will not be.
Yeah.
So they want to put their money where their hands will reach. So it's like then poetry is, they have seen something in poetry, that is why they're investing in it. Because looking at Absisal and the others trying to sponsor a poetry event, something that they're not going to get anything financially back, but there's something that they're looking forward to, because they know there is something behind it. So it's like everybody, we have more poets than we have musicians now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But then do you know that we have more than 25,000 musicians? Artists in the Gambia. But I don't think we have up to that.
No, we have artists, musicians in the Gambia, but we have 50,000 poets in the Gambia.
Yeah, because now everybody is calling themselves
poets.
I'm sure, because poetry doesn't mean you have to come on stage and deliver. Even musicians are poets.
In a way.
They are, not in a way, they are.
In a way.
They are. Because they contain elements of poetry.
Okay.
That's arranging your words.
Okay.
And also when it comes to rhyming.
Okay.
So presentation, it's just different.
Yeah, they have some interlinks, right?
Yeah,
they have some interlinks.
Plus, it's poetry.
Yeah.
It's not poetry.
We move.
Yeah, I would say they have some interlinks.
Why is it?
Yeah, music can be poetry, but sometimes not all music can be poetic.
Why do I have this feeling that you guys are trying to be against me?
Okay, let me help you out. I know a musician who is a musician and a poet. Sometimes he puts his poetry in his music. So why did they say that he puts his poetry in the music? Why didn't they just say that it was a music?
Exactly.
It was a music piece, or it was wholly I
didn't listen to it, but when I listened, I will be like, okay, he puts these things together. Not his music.
You are not serious at all. But anyways, we are moving to my favorite part of the program, where we play a game. You are going to pick a word from this jar here, as always, and then the first word that you come up with, you're going to come up with a line.
With a line?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you? Where are
I'm
you
just
seeing
trying
this
to
guy?
be fair, Just want him to pick something big. Good. Now I can play. I'll be the judge.
You are going to pick your. There's no judge here.
Right. I don't like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Make a hard mine. What is yours?
I think I come with one of my unfavorite words, which is science.
You are not a science. You're not a science.
We can even exchange. I will use my primary school definition for science.
You are not going
What's
to do
your
that.
word?
What's yours?
Don't worry, you guys.
What is your word?
It defines our camera woman. Beauty.
Oh. Okay, and
Can we exchange? I will turn it from a line to a verse.
is that okay with you, scientist?
Don't worry.
The systematic study of nature.
I think I came up with home.
Let's go.
This is beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
So who will start?
Musa, you're going to start with you.
How can we start when you are here?
Her beauty drives me insanely mad. I mean, from the first day I saw her, I knew the beauty was what God answered my prayers for. Should I continue?
You can continue for the whole day, but I bet time wouldn't allow us.
Yeah, okay.
That was really beautiful. So,
No, you go first.
no, you are going.
I am not going
You
first.
are going
We are
first.
gonna
Come
follow
on,
you. We are
help
gonna-
us. Science. It's
Yeah,
something
men
that-
first, men first.
Exactly. I'm giving you the honor. Men first.
It's in our world.
Yes.
It's ladies first. But then now ladies have turned everything into their favor. I guess this is the science of cultivating corruption in our society. Science.
But
That is interesting. My word is home. Home. What am I doing? Okay. Home. This is where the heart is, but this was where his heart first ached.
oh, my peace accord.
This is
I
where
guess
the
we have
heart
to
is.
take another
Yes.
word, right?
This is where your heart aches. No, it's only one.
It's
I
only
see
one.
you are grabbing for my word. It's only one.
Okay.
This is where the heart is, but this is where it heart.
His heart
Heart
first
aches like-
ache. Yes, you get that, right?
I got it.
I thought that I had to explain it to you.
Yeah.
But viewers, that was all we had for you on this episode. And before we go, Musa, do you have anything to tell those that are watching?
Do I have anything to say?
Yes.
To your fans.
Yeah, I'm telling all my loved ones, all my fans, all who have been there for me throughout, always trying to share my work, always trying to show love. I say a big thank you, okay? The feeling is so much supercalifragilistic, expialidocious, and I would like to say a big shout out to you all. And to my mom, okay? I want to say that I love you, Mom. I appreciate you. And inshallah, I'm going to make you proud one day.
And to my mom, I'm coming home.
Yeah, and to all poetry lovers, I'm telling you to watch out for the logical intellect poet inspired by wisdom. My hands is tied on something, but inshallah, you guys will hear from me soon.
Inshallah.
And I would like to tell you all that Pan-Africanism is the way, it's the vision, it's the dream, and it is the future. It doesn't matter if I call myself Pan-African, a Pan-African, okay? We all should be. This is a message that will liberate us in the future. This is a message that will make our children not to go through the struggles, the suffering, the nightmares, and the marginalization we face today. So I'm telling you all that it is the way forward. So once again, thank you for the invitation. It is an honor to be here, and I guess it was a pleasure, right? Yeah.
So Musa, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you today, and once again, thank you for accepting our invitation on such a short notice. Thank you guys for watching. It was your favorite program, Chapters, of course, where words come to life. I'm your host, Mariam C. And don't forget to follow us on across our media platforms, that is YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So see you next week. Bye-bye.